Hello, this is Father Morris coming to you with my last comments from the clergy video. I just want to thank you all for making my time here so wonderful and great learning experience. But this video will be coming out on the feast day of a saint, Saint Junipero Serra, who's well known to us primarily as through the Serran Club and just knowing him as an early missionary to America. Out west, of course, it's a little more complicated, and especially in the probably about 5 years ago, there was some controversy about him. But the main thing to remember about Blessed Saint Serra is that he came to the New World and wanted to convert people who were not Christian at all to Christianity. That he truly believed that he was saving their souls. And when we look perhaps at some of the methods or some of the decisions that were made, we always have to do so in context of, well, what were they experiencing at the hands of one, their own Indian tribe or neighboring tribes as far as war and conflicts, but also from the hands of the secular government of the Spanish. So when we look at it in that light, a lot of times some of Serra's decisions, which involved creating the missions in California and then bringing Indian converts into those missions so they could take tribes that were primarily hunter-gatherers and try to bring them in so they could be educated, so they could learn Christian culture, so they could learn the faith. Obviously, nowadays, people looking back, people view that as a way of him imposing culture upon them and maybe taking advantage of their free work in the mission or whatever these other objections people bring up. But other historians will say, again, when you look at him defending the Indians, that the fact that they're human beings with souls, that protecting them from certain members of the military who are trying to exploit them, even writing to various civil authorities, including the Spanish crown, again, trying to make sure that the Indians were recognized as human beings that had rights and that they couldn't just be exploited. So when we look at him in the context of his times, we can see how, even though he may have done things that we in 21st century America would not do it that way, according to his times, he was trying to do what he thought was best, which is to give the Indians the faith and to give them the means to live that out, especially when you're trying to transfer from very nomadic hunter-gatherer style to more of a farming and learned culture that went hands in hands with evangelization. So anyway, Saint Serra is one of those saints that we can look at and say that, hey, not everything he did would we do, but his desires to bring people to the Lord were correct, and that if we are put in the same time and place as he, what decisions would we have made with that as our overriding concern to bring people to Jesus. So Saint Serra is truly still a saint for our time, if nothing else because he makes us question our own biases and our own simplistic way of explaining things and force us to look at the historical circumstances in which saints lived and how they tried to serve a perfect God in a world that is and has never been perfect. God bless.